Hi there. Real quick before we jump into the episode. If you enjoy this episode, or any of the other episodes, be sure to give us a follow or subscribe. It would also be great if you shared it with a friend, or better yet, left a review so others can know how awesome it is. Thanks so much. And now, the episode.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome to the Press Start Leadership Podcast, the podcast about game-changing leadership, teaching you how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader you were meant to be. Leadership coaching and training for the international game industry professional. Now, let me introduce you to your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Mifsud.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome back to another awesome edition of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. On this week's episode, we'll be discussing how debate and public speaking skills strengthen leadership in the video game industry. Why video game industry leaders should develop debate and public speaking skills to inspire teams, influence stakeholders, and build lasting credibility. I recently had the privilege to speak with young students who are studying debate and public speaking. Their curiosity and enthusiasm reminded me of my own experiences learning these skills as a student. At the time, I had no idea how profoundly they would shape my future career. Looking back now, I see clearly that my ability to speak confidently, think critically, and structure persuasive arguments has been one of the most valuable assets of my journey as a leader in the video game industry. The video game industry is a world defined by creativity, innovation, and constant change. But it is also an industry of people, negotiations, and influence. Whether you are pitching to investors, rallying a team during production, negotiating with publishers, or addressing a community of players, your ability to communicate effectively can determine success or failure. This is where the practical skills of debate and public speaking come in. They are not just academic exercises. They are foundational leadership skills that help you articulate vision, build trust, and navigate conflict. Why debate and public speaking matter for video game industry leaders. Some leaders in the video game industry assume that talent, creativity, or technical expertise alone will carry them forward. While these are essential, they are not enough. The ability to communicate persuasively and clearly is the bridge between ideas and execution. Here is why debate and public speaking matter so much for leaders in the game industry. Pitching and persuasion. Whether to publishers, investors, or players, leaders must make compelling cases for their projects. Team leadership. Public speaking skills allow leaders to inspire, motivate, and align diverse teams. Conflict resolution. Debate teaches leaders to engage with opposing viewpoints constructively. Industry influence. Strong communication builds credibility, visibility, and influence at conferences, panels, and networking events. Community trust. Leaders who speak authentically to players foster stronger relationships with their audiences. In short, effective communication multiplies the impact of all your other skills. The three pillars: pathos, logos, ethos. When teaching debate and public speaking, we often return to three classical principles from Aristotle: pathos, logos, and ethos. These remain just as relevant in the video game industry today. Pathos, the power of emotion. Pathos is about appealing to emotion. In the game industry, pathos helps leaders connect with people on a human level. When you speak with passion about a project, share personal stories, or express empathy for your team's challenges, you build emotional resonance. For example, a studio head describing their lifelong dream to create a particular game inspires belief not because of raw logic, but because of authentic passion. Logos, the strength of logic. Logos is about appealing to logic and reason. Leaders must present clear data, structured arguments, and evidence-based decisions. In the video game industry, this might include market analysis, project timelines, and/or performance metrics. For example, an executive pitching to investors needs logos to show why their game fills a gap in the market, supported by research and numbers. Ethos, the weight of credibility. Ethos is about credibility and trustworthiness. Leaders must demonstrate integrity, competence, and reliability. Without ethos, even the best arguments fall flat. In the game industry, ethos comes from experience, reputation, and authenticity. For example, when a respected developer speaks about the challenges of crunch, their credibility makes the audience listen. Together, pathos, logos, and ethos create persuasive, balanced communication that resonates with diverse audiences. The dangers of neglecting debate and public speaking. Some leaders underestimate the importance of these skills. The dangers of neglecting them are real. Struggling to secure funding because pitches lack clarity. Losing team alignment because vision is poorly communicated. Mishandling conflicts with reactive rather than reasoned responses. Damaging community trust through tone-deaf or defensive communication. These failures are not about lack of technical skills. They stem from gaps in debate and public speaking competence. Actionable step number 1. Practice structured thinking through debate. Debate teaches structured thinking. Instead of rambling or improvising without direction, debate forces leaders to organize thoughts into clear points supported by evidence. Practical exercise for leaders. Choose a relevant industry issue, such as, are live service models sustainable? Write down your arguments for one side and anticipate counterarguments. Practice presenting both sides to train flexibility. This trains your ability to respond under pressure and articulate complex ideas with clarity. Actionable step number 2. Develop confidence through public speaking. Confidence is often the biggest barrier for leaders who struggle with communication. Public speaking practice reduces fear by turning it into familiarity. How to build confidence. Join local speaking groups or workshops. Practice short talks in front of colleagues or friends. Record yourself and review tone, clarity, and body language. Gradually scale from small groups to larger audiences. Confidence grows through repetition and preparation, not sudden leaps. Actionable step number 3. Learn to balance pathos, logos, and ethos. Great leaders balance emotional appeal, logical reasoning, and credibility. Too much pathos without logos can seem manipulative. Too much logos without pathos can seem cold. Too little ethos undermines everything. Practical method. When preparing a pitch, explicitly include elements of pathos, logos, and ethos. Ask, am I showing authentic passion? Am I presenting data logically? Am I establishing credibility? Refine until all 3 are represented. This balance ensures your communication connects with both hearts and minds. Actionable step number 4. Anticipate objections. Debate teaches leaders to anticipate counter-arguments. This is invaluable in the video game industry, where stakeholders often raise objections to funding, timelines, or creative direction. How to anticipate objections. Before a meeting, list possible objections from the other party. Prepare responses supported by both logic and empathy. Practice delivering those responses without defensiveness. Anticipation turns conflict into opportunity for dialogue. Actionable step number 5. Develop the habit of active listening. Public speaking often gets the attention, but debate teaches the importance of listening. Leaders must not only talk well, but also hear others clearly. How to practice active listening. In meetings, paraphrase what others say to confirm understanding. Resist the urge to interrupt or immediately counter. Take notes and reflect before responding. Listening demonstrates respect and strengthens ethos. Actionable step number 6. Use storytelling to build pathos. Storytelling is one of the most powerful tools of pathos. Leaders who use stories connect abstract ideas to lived human experiences. Practical exercise. Collect personal or team stories that illustrate your studio's values. Integrate these stories into pitches, presentations, or team meetings. Keep stories authentic and concise. Stories humanize leaders and inspire belief and vision. The role of debate in public speaking in key leadership scenarios. Pitching to investors and publishers. Here, logos is crucial, supported by ethos and pathos. Clear data about market potential, development timelines, and ROI must be balanced with authentic passion and credibility. Leading internal teams. Pathos and ethos dominate. Teams want to feel inspired and trust their leader. Logic still matters, but emotional connection is what motivates action. Industry conferences and panels. All 3 pillars are essential. Pathos engages the audience, logos provides insight, and ethos establishes authority. Crisis management. In moments of controversy or setback, ethos and logos are key. Leaders must remain calm, credible, and fact-based while showing empathy. Debate and public speaking gives leaders the tools to navigate all these scenarios effectively. Actionable step number 7. Refine nonverbal communication. Debate and public speaking are not only about words. Body language, tone, and facial expressions shape how your message is received. Leaders in the video game industry often overlook these subtle elements, but they can strengthen or undermine credibility. How to refine nonverbal communication. Maintain eye contact during presentations to build trust. Use open hand gestures to appear approachable. Vary your tone and pace to emphasize important points. Record yourself to identify nervous habits like fidgeting or pacing. Nonverbal cues reinforce ethos and pathos, making your presence as a leader more impactful. Actionable step number 8. Practice clarity and brevity. Leaders often face situations where they must communicate complex ideas quickly, such as investor pitches or team updates. Debate teaches clarity, while public speaking teaches the art of brevity. Practical methods. Distill complex ideas into 3 core points. Use analogies that make abstract concepts accessible. Avoid jargon when addressing non-technical audiences. Clarity ensures your vision is understood, while brevity respects time and keeps audiences engaged. Actionable step number 9. Manage pressure through preparation. Debate and public speaking both train leaders to perform under pressure. Video game industry is filled with high-stakes situations. Launch announcements, media interviews, crisis responses. Leaders must remain calm and credible under stress. How to manage pressure proactively. Over-prepare for major talks by rehearsing until content feels natural. Use breathing techniques before speaking to steady nerves. Visualize successful outcomes to replace fear with confidence. Break down big presentations into smaller, manageable sections. Preparation is the foundation of confidence. Actionable step number 10. Build ethical persuasion. Debate can sometimes be associated with winning at all costs, but true leadership requires ethical persuasion. Public speaking in leadership is not about manipulation, but about building trust. Practical guidelines for ethical persuasion. Always represent facts truthfully, even when they are inconvenient. Acknowledge opposing views respectfully rather than dismissively. Align persuasion with studio values and mission. Ethical persuasion strengthens ethos, building credibility that endures over time. Examples of debate and public speaking in the game industry. While many leaders develop these skills informally, we can observe examples when communication has shaped outcomes. Product reveals. A well-delivered announcement inspires excitement and trust in a new game. Investor presentations. Clear articulation of vision and data can secure millions in funding. Team meetings. Inspiring speeches can rally teams during crunch or crisis. Community engagement. Transparent communication in live streams or blogs strengthens loyalty even during setbacks. In all these examples, debate and public speaking skills transform leaders from functional to inspiring. Integrating debate and public speaking into leadership growth. Developing these skills is not a one-time project. They must be integrated into continuous leadership growth. Daily habits. Summarize daily decisions in clear, structured language. Practice active listening in every meeting. Reflect on communication outcomes. What worked, what did not. Monthly practices. Participate in at least one public speaking opportunity per month, such as an internal presentation, community stream, or industry event. Host debate-style workshops within the studio to build critical thinking across teams. Long-term growth. Mentor younger staff in communication skills. Seek opportunities to speak at conferences or industry panels. Continuously refine your personal speaking style based on feedback. Leadership growth is ongoing, and communication skills grow stronger the more they are used. How debate and public speaking enhance core leadership responsibilities. Vision communication. Leaders must articulate where the studio is heading and why. Public speaking provides the clarity and presence to inspire. Conflict resolution. Debate trains leaders to see both sides, anticipate objections, and seek constructive compromise. Negotiation. Whether with publishers, platform holders, or contractors, persuasive speaking grounded in logos and ethos strengthens your position. Crisis management. In moments of crisis, reactive statements can damage reputations. Leaders trained in public speaking respond calmly, transparently, and empathetically. Team motivation. Passionate, authentic speeches can transform morale, uniting developers around a shared purpose. Communication is not separate from leadership. It is leadership. Actionable step number 11. Seek feedback and iterate. Just as games improve through iteration, so do speaking skills. Leaders must seek feedback from trusted peers, teams, and mentors. How to apply this step. After presentations, ask colleagues for honest input. Use surveys to gauge clarity and inspiration in team communications. Record talks and self-review for areas of improvement. Feedback ensures progress is measurable rather than assumed. Actionable step number 12. Adapt communication to context. Not every audience is the same. Debate and public speaking train leaders to adapt tone, language, and content. Examples of adaptation in the video game industry. For investors, emphasize logos with data and market insights. For developers, emphasize ethos by showing empathy and respect for their workload. For players, emphasize pathos through passion and authenticity. Adapting to context demonstrates respect for the audience and strengthens connection. Actual step number 13. Use debate structures for meetings. Debate structures can make leadership meetings more productive. Instead of endless discussion, structured formats lead to faster decisions. Practical structure. Present an issue clearly. Allow for opposing viewpoints and counterpoints. Summarize arguments and move toward resolution. This format prevents circular debates and ensures all voices are heard. Actual step 14. Cultivate authentic presence. The best public speakers are not necessarily the most polished. They are the most authentic. In the video game industry, where players and staff value transparency, authenticity is critical. How to cultivate authenticity. Speak from personal experience rather than rehearse cliches. Acknowledge challenges honestly rather than hiding them. Share genuine passion for projects and people. Authenticity is the foundation of trust. The long-term benefits of debate and public speaking for leaders. Leaders who commit to these skills reap long-term benefits that extend beyond individual talks or pitches. Career growth. Strong communicators are seen as natural leaders. Studio resilience. Teams trust leaders who communicate clearly. Investor confidence. Funding flows more easily when pitches are persuasive. Community loyalty. Players respect leaders who speak openly and passionately. Cultural influence. Leaders who speak effectively shape the direction of the industry. These benefits compound, creating lasting impact for both individuals and studios. Final thoughts from young student to industry leader. When I spoke with the young students studying debate and public speaking, I saw in them the same skills that helped me through my career. Debate taught me to think critically and anticipate objections. Public speaking taught me to inspire, persuade, and lead. Together, these skills formed a foundation for leadership in the complex, unpredictable world of the video game industry. Every leader in the game industry, whether running a small indie team or guiding a global studio, can benefit from these skills. They are not optional extras. They are essential tools for building trust, securing opportunities, and navigating challenges. The next time you prepare for a pitch, lead a meeting, or speak to your community, remember the 3 pillars: pathos, logos, and ethos. Balance emotion, logic, and credibility. Practice anticipation, clarity, and authenticity. Build these skills into daily habits and long-term growth. Debate and public speaking are not just about winning arguments or performing on stage. They are about becoming the kind of leader who can carry a vision forward, inspire others to join, and communicate with empathy and strength. That is the kind of leader the video game industry needs today. All right, and that's this week's episode of the Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thanks for listening, and as always, thanks for being awesome.
Oh, hi. And the episode's over, but thanks for sticking around till the end. Be sure to check out more episodes in the playlist and new episodes every week on Monday. Follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave a review. Thanks again for being awesome.